So, Madam Web, fourth film in the Sony Spider-Man universe, following on from the Venom films and Morbius. Directed, co-written by S.J. Clarkson, making her feature debut. Other writers include the writing pair behind Morbius. Dakota Johnson is Cassie Webb, a paramedic whose mother, Constance, died while seeking a magical spider in the jungles of Peru. I'm not making this up. Now she's saving lives. One day she has a near-death experience that unlocks hidden powers. Her hidden powers are she can see the near future.
Oh.
Here's a clip.
Cassie, I need you at the triage.
Wait, O'Neill, will you let me drive?
What are you talking about?
I don't know, I just have a weird feeling.
If you had a bad experience on the job, don't let it mess with your head.
Cassie, come on!
So she foresaw something, but can she change it? So after an incident happens with a bird, it turns out that she can possibly change the future as long as she acts fast enough. Meanwhile, Ezekiel, played by Tara Rahim, is haunted by visions of a group of women who are bringing about his demise. He knows this is happening in the future, but using high-tech wizardry, he gets pictures of their faces, takes them back to what they would look like now, because he knows what they look like in the future, but he knows what they look like now, and they're just teenagers, played by Sydney Sweeney, who was great in reality, Celeste O'Connor, Isabel Merced. They are going to become killers who will bring about his demise. So therefore he tracks them down using this high-tech stuff at a point where all their paths cross. And, so origin story. Sounds like fun because, interesting ideas to people in there that I like. Isn't fun at all. Apparently costs somewhere between $80 and $100 million. That is 10 times as much as Godzilla -1 cost. And yet this looks like, if you showed the two films and said, which one of these cost $100 million, which one of these cost 10, you'd have it the other way round. Because to say that the visuals are shonky is to understate the level of, wow, is that really up there on the screen that was considered to be passable at the point that it left the effects houses. The storytelling is on a par with Morbius. It's absolutely somewhere between pathetic and perfunctory. I mean, largely perfunctory, but just occasionally you just go, oh, absolutely not. There are some comic book movies which have got this kind of thing about they sort of self-referentially refer to themselves and, kind of make fun of the source or make jokes about the source and sort of nods and winks and all that kind of stuff. This just seems careless in the sense that it looks like nobody who made it could care less about what they were doing. And I'm sure that's not true. I'm absolutely certain that that whilst they were making it, the people who were making it wanted to make something good. It's just disappointing to see something that lands so lamely. I mean, there's this one scene in it in which Cassie's figured out that her heritage, it's the thing back in Peru. So she goes to Peru, which apparently is the size of a postage stamp, because she arrives in Peru and literally standing there is the person that she's looking for. Hello.
That's reassuring.
I'm in Peru. I mean, you're more likely to find Paddington Bear. The action sequences are just a bunch of CG visuals, some of which look, to say they were televisual, television now looks so fabulous. Many of them just kind of look very computer gamey. The dialogue is terrible. I'm not very smart, but I felt that my intelligence was being insulted by some of it. And the whole thing is a setup for something which I'm pretty certain we're never going to see. So it's like a setup for something that we didn't need to, we're not going to see the next one, so we didn't need to see it this time. And you just end up thinking, okay, well, it's the film which makes the joke. It's about clairvoyance, and, if only Dakota Johnson had been clairvoyant enough to see how this was going to work out, then perhaps you could have, gone back in time and not made it. It's not, there's nothing worth ranting about it. It's just very, very poor. Very, very shoddy and messy and foolish and uninteresting. And the worst thing about it is that you keep wanting it to get good. And, Dakota Johnson, you keep wanting it to be good, and then it's just not.